YouTube! How you guys doing? This is Mike.
This is Jenny.
Pratt Family Homestead. Hey, gonna talk about these little guys right here today. Hopefully kind of a quick update, but we've had them for a month now. I had to go back and look on Instagram. We got them on June 17th, and today is June 19th.
Today's July 19th.
Or July 19th. You know, whatever.
One of those days.
You know how I am
with those months.
You know how I am with names, channel names, dates, you know, whatever. She has to fill it in for me. But the pigs are doing good. I had some concerns. I was seeing ribs. I was seeing spine on one or two of them, ribs on two or three of them. I was getting a little bit worried because we are experimenting this year and we are raising them, hopefully, almost solely on pasture. Well, when I start seeing ribs and stuff, I start getting a little worried. And Michigan Snow Pony let me pick her brain a little, and she was very clear that she's not an expert. She, you know, very great disclaimer that she gave me, but she got me thinking about some things. And of course, they're out here running around in the pasture. I mean, they're not confined. This is a smaller paddock we've put them in, but they're not confined. They're running around. They're out foraging all day long when it's not too hot.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we're not feeding them a ton of grain either. You'll see in this video how much we feed them each day, and I don't plan on that changing much. I plan on them eating all the green stuff out here, which is red and white clover, alfalfa, different grasses,
and weeds that pop up in the middle.
And weeds, and we feed them a ton of lamb's quarter. The lamb's quarter is growing up through our garden like crazy, so we're just pulling it and feeding it to them, pulling and feeding. So I've noticed some ribs disappearing and spine disappearing.
Yeah.
And we've been playing with a little bit of the feed adjustments.
It's rubbing.
And so hopefully we'll get you guys some close-up video of these guys here real soon. And if you got any ideas to give me, I'd love to hear them. But keeping in mind that my number one goal is this is pasture raised, pasture fed pork. I don't mind feeding them a little stuff, and we're going to start in with table scraps again real soon. We eliminated table scraps because we saw some diarrhea in 3 of them. 3 of them, yes. And the diarrhea lasted quite a while, which may have also been contributing to the ribs and spine I was seeing. Right. But the diarrhea seems gone. Their energy level has been up at all times. They haven't lost any energy.
No, nothing. They acted fine. They just had icky butts.
Yes, she's right. That was it. They acted perfectly fine, energetic, running all over, and just ucky butts. So let's go take a look at the pigs, take a look at what we feed them. I'm going to show you guys the pasture a little bit, what some of the plans are. Okay, so here's what we're feeding the pigs each night. We're giving them 2 of these blue solo cups of pig feed each night, which equals about 4 cups of food. And just tonight, actually, I'm going to up the amount of eggs that we put in here. These are our own eggs, our own chicken eggs that we get right from the farm here. We use the older ones, and as you can see, the dirtier ones. I don't know why these ones are so dirty, but just break them up. Kind of, I mean, I hate to even use the word stir it up, but just kind of mix it up a little bit for each pig, or so that all the pigs can get an equal amount. And this is all we feed them each day, which actually kind of seems like quite a bit. But in a couple days, we're going to have a baby goat, hopefully. Baby goats, which means we will have goat's milk a couple weeks after that or whenever that'll happen. And they'll also be getting goat's milk. So let's go feed them. Let's go check it out. Piggies!
Yeah, they're eyeballing you.
Oh yeah, can the camera see them through our garden?
Possibly.
Here we go through the garden. Take a quick look around the garden real quick. We gotta do an update on this thing.
Started weeding again after camping. The weeds kind of exploded. Look at those giant sunflowers. tomatoes. Piggly wigglies.
Okay, as you can see, they're chowing. They're really chowing, but they're not killing each other getting in there. I remember our 2 pigs that we had last year, when we were kind of restrictive dieting them, they were killing each other to get to the pans. And these guys aren't. And I'm going to take you around the pasture here for a little walk around in a second. And I'm also gonna put in a clip of a video I put on Instagram, because you guys probably already saw it because you're on Instagram with us. But of them just eating the pasture, and that's what they're doing. It's fantastic. But
how many piggies can fit in a pan?
But pretty soon we're hoping to eliminate the pig feed altogether, give them eggs. Now they're starting to kill each other for the last bit of it. Probably up the chicken eggs to 8 instead of 6. Eliminate the pig feed and give them goat's milk as well. So we'll see how all that goes. If nothing else, they'll keep a minimal amount of pig feed. But other than that, they are eating pasture. So let's go check out the pasture. All right, so the sun's starting to go down, so hopefully all this shows up good. But we recently just moved the pigs here 2 days ago when we got home from camping. It was the first thing we came out and did. Moved them into this new paddock here. It's not a huge paddock. It's a lot smaller than what they just came out of. But I decided to go a little bit smaller, maybe keep a better eye on just how things are going. This is the paddock they came out of, which you can see is considerably bigger. I would say right about double the size. They did a great job of mowing this down, mashing it down. I mean, this was all very tall, very thick stuff when we put them in here. And you can probably go back and see in our first video from a month ago when we let them in, you can tell the difference, and maybe I'll try to splice some of that in here as well. But what you don't see in any of this pasture, and this is probably a rough video to see walking around, but there is no rooting in here. None. They're not tearing it up. Granted, these pigs are still young, so I know anything can happen. But they were out here busy running around, foraging all day long and eating all kinds of green stuff. This green stuff here is coming up almost after they've left. So I'm going to finish mowing this down, let it start coming back up. And actually, since the pigs are in here, I think this is where I'm going to start running the meat chickens when I put them out on pasture. The chickens are going to follow the pigs. And so that's what will happen there. In the pasture here, you can see a lot more green stuff. Oh, pigs, don't touch that fence, please. Boy, I hate it when you guys do that. That sounds awful. And yes, I got zapped by this fence, and that was a very odd experience. But you can see the difference of the color of green from the pasture where they came from to where they're going. And this was hastily cut. I wish it would have actually looked better, but there's a lot of green stuff in here and they are chowing down. I think I've actually deleted the video, but if you go to our Instagram account, I think I deleted it off my phone, but if you go to our Instagram account, I've put up a video a day or two ago of them just chowing on the alfalfa and the clovers and the grasses in here. And it's just awesome watching them eat pasture. And then by the time they get this knocked down pretty good and I move them over to there, that's going to be up and looking real good. So here's what we're doing for water at the moment. I need to get some hose connections on this barrel. But I've got this thing on a trailer. This has lasted quite a while now, I think. Week and a half. But we're just filling up the 5-gallon bucket, fill up the water pan, and holy cow, seems like at least 10 gallons a day we're dumping in the ground for them to have their wallow. That's if it's super hot. If it's not super hot, we don't need to use that much to give them a nice wet spot. So this is the operation. After they're there, they're going to move back there. Now, I had originally talked about in that first video, or when I was setting this up, of letting them have free roam or possibly splitting it in half or fourths. Most of you recommended splitting it up into fourths. Well, I think I've gone even a step further. I think this original paddock should have been 2 paddocks, but that's what I've done over here now. So I think we're actually kind of gonna go into 8ths, try and keep a close eye on things and see how they're doing. If I like the way things are going, maybe I'll let them into bigger and bigger areas, but they're doing good. They are doing real good. I'm gonna go crawl through this electric and get some close-up of them. Chasing me. They think I got food, and I don't. How you guys doing? They're not real sociable yet. I try to pet them. They're letting me touch them, but not necessarily pet them and scratch them. A couple of them are, but they usually squeal. But they do come up to me. What are you doing in there, bud? Oh, yeah. You guys finding some green stuff? They are doing a little rooting here, it looks like. But they are really enjoying this green stuff. They are. They're doing good. Let's try to get some. See, I don't know if you can see it, but I can. At some angles, this is the bigger pig right here. No, second biggest pig. These are the 2 biggest ones here. This big guy, no ribs, no nothing. I think he's looking pretty good. That guy, you can kind of see on the video, I think, almost like slight outlines of his ribs, but they were worse. And this guy is the one that had diarrhea real bad for a long time. And his ribs are disappearing as well, although you can see them. And then the brown and white guy, he's just stayed small. His ribs have kind of poked out and gone back a couple times, but all in all, I think they're doing good. They're having a lot of fun digging this area up over here tonight. I don't know what that's necessarily all about, but it's funny, in that other video I talked about them not rooting at all, which I know it was impossible for you to really tell in that clip over there, but they really haven't been rooting much. But this path in front of the garden fence here, we had mowed down. Actually, we never planted in it. We never planted this field in about 3 or 4 foot off the fence there. And this is the area they love digging in and everything. So that's worked out really good. Obviously, I got to change their water so that me or the kids or Jenny doesn't have to go over the fence, over either the hog panel. The hog panel separating them in the garden is not electrified. That's because we are always in the garden. I don't want the kids touching it, bloody. But I do have electric set up everywhere else. So those 2 hog panels right there separate, and you can walk through like a gate, and it's on the other side of this electric. So we get water, we come over, we fill this up, but I attached a piece of wire to this, and I'm going to do it better, but piece of wire so that they don't run off with it. Put it through a small hole right there. I'm going to do the same thing with their feed pans, put some D-rings on it. But look, all this lamb quarter grows right here for us to give to them. All right, loving these guys. Any helpful suggestions or anything, love to hear it. I can't wait for our goat to kid, and a couple weeks after that, or however long, we're going to start shoving goat's milk at them also. Probably, I've been reading a lot about how skim milk is actually what can really fatten them up, so we might take the cream off. I don't know. Kind of another cool sight. I don't know if you can see over there, especially with this light. Jenny and TJ doing some farm chores over there, getting ready to shut down animals for the night. Oh, guess what? Today is Miss Grace's birthday. It is. Oh no, they're all coming. Oh no. Grace, darling. Grace. Happy birthday. All right, guys. All right. so that's our pigs. Any suggestions, whatever you got, give it to me. If I feel like they're hurting on food, I might throw them some hay. I did throw them some hay as a little experiment one day, and they chowed on it. But as you can see, they got a lot of green stuff to get rid of in here. So we'll see how it all goes. All right, guys. This is Mike with the Pratt Family Homestead and my 4 piggy friends here. Thanks for watching. Any suggestions you got? Anything, let me know. Really appreciate it. Please share, like, and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it.